6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Some viewers may find the following video disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
I don't like them putting chemicals in the water that turn the freaking frogs gay. Do you understand that? Turn the freaking frogs gay. Serious crap.
Well, hello. What is going on with my view here? This is not what I wanted. No. What the? I don't know why it's doing that. I had a different view loaded up, and now it's not loaded up. What's up, ladies and gentlemen? How's everybody out there in YouTube land doing? Welcome, welcome. I had my view set up a different way. Why is it not? I had it set up a different way, and now it's not doing it. Look at me just bouncing all over the screen. There we go. That's what I wanted. That's what I wanted. I like my background. I think it looks cool and fucking psychedelic and shit. So I want you to be able to see that. Anyway, what's up, guys? How's everybody doing today? Everybody had a good week? Huh? What's up, Triggerfish? Scooter Trash Tactical. We got Let on Steel, All Thumbs, effing Rob. What's up, dudes? How's it going? Well, these are the only ones that are talking. So, how are you guys doing? Yeah. Another trans shooting. And the Dow's at 50,000. God damn. Pam Bondi's a fucking moron. I knew, like, I had heard of her, but I don't live in Florida, and I knew a lot of people complained about her, and people started talking about her more, obviously, when she got her position. And I heard a lot of people talking shit about her, especially people that I know that live in Florida, because apparently she's not the greatest when it comes to gun laws and things like that. But I didn't really, I, not living in Florida, didn't really know a lot about her. But goddamn, she is awful. Just awful. Sorry, I'm going to kick back, put my feet up here while we're talking. Pam Bondi is just fucking awful. Of course, at this point, the whole administration has just really pissed a lot of people off because of the whole Epstein thing. And I don't know. I don't know. I am not going to go into all the Epstein shit. We talked about that. Was it last week? Last week? Week before? I don't remember. Whenever it was. I think it was last week, because it was when the emails dropped and shit. And, yeah. I severely... I think that the Trump administration severely underestimated how much people want heads on pikes for this Epstein thing, because they keep trying to just brush it aside, and Pam Bondi's the face of that right now. But Trump he ain't innocent in all this either. He's been trying to sweep this shit under the rug for a long time, which seems weird, because all the information that keeps coming out about Trump there's no evidence he's done anything wrong. In fact, evidence has now recently come out here just in the last week with that, was it the sheriff's department? I can't remember if it was the sheriff's department for that area, for Palm Beach, or if it was the police department. But either way, they came out and said Trump had fucking like told them that the shit needed to stop. You know, told them that Epstein was a bad guy. So it doesn't seem, at least according to everything we know. I mean, even the New York Times came out and said, look, we've gone through all this and we can't find any incriminating evidence on Trump. So it doesn't seem like, even though he is mentioned, that he's mentioned in any way that would be a bad thing. So I don't know why, but he severely underestimates how much the people who voted for him want to, essentially see people hang for this Epstein shit. You know what I mean? And I don't know what's going on. It's a clusterfuck. Epstein shit is just a clusterfuck, and it has been completely mishandled by the Trump administration. I mean, I give them credit for releasing the stuff they've released, which, nobody else had done. Biden administration certainly didn't do that, but still feels like it's being severely mishandled. You know what I mean? So, I don't know. But you know what I want to talk about tonight a little bit? We'll talk about whatever you guys want to talk about. But, so if y'all got questions or topics or anything, let me know. Besides the trans shooter in Canada, yet another one. Another check mark there next to trans mass shooters. So some of you know, because I think I talked about it last week or the week before or whatever. So I'm going to, right now, the police academy. Because I'm a private police officer. Private, right? Which I've talked about before. It's not a big deal, honestly. It's like a step between security guard and actual police officer. It's like a middle step. That's all it is. It's not anything special. It's not anything crazy. But I do like the job. I like the job. The last year doing this job has been good. I enjoy it a lot. Because I get to do a lot of the good stuff. I get to do all the good stuff that I think police officers should fucking do. And because I work for a private corporation, I'm not involved in any of the shit that I don't like that cops do. It's been one of the most enjoyable jobs I've ever had. Certainly not one that pays the most, but I've liked the job a lot, and I wish I could go into more detail about it, but it's the one time in 16 years now on YouTube that I haven't been very open about like where I work and shit, and that's just because of the nature of the company I work for. But anyway. So anyway, they're sending me to a police academy. And so I've been there for the last 2 or 3 weeks, and I've got like 2 or 3 more weeks to go or whatever. I don't know. And I will tell you, so even though I'm a private police officer, I'm learning all the same stuff that, and having to go through all the same classes, and we're going through defensive tactics and all the same stuff that cops go through, right? And man, I tell you what, nothing will make you trust the police less than actually going to the police academy. I mean, you guys know, I'm already not a big fan of law enforcement. You know what I mean? At all. And a lot of the things that I don't like about law enforcement and reasons why I don't like law enforcement have been reinforced going to the police academy. Because like I said, I have to go through and learn all the same things that they have to learn, and specifically, and when I say the stuff that really drives home that idea that you should never trust cops, never trust law enforcement, is a lot of the legal stuff that we're having to learn, right? Now, obviously, a lot of it is like we did like 2 days worth of classes on constitutional law and a lot of other stuff. But and a lot of it is like you learn about constitutional law and that kind of thing, and then it gets more specific into Michigan laws and things. But yeah, specifically the legal aspects of things. I actually had to correct. So the guy that teaches the legal class, he's a former cop. I don't know how old he is, but he looks like he's probably around 60. And all he's done, all he's done is either be a cop or a prosecutor, right? So he was a cop for several years. Then he went to law school, got out of law school, became a prosecutor. And he's a prosecutor for one of the counties here in Michigan. He also teaches the class, and he's fairly well respected and that kind of thing. And I had to correct him today because he went on this somewhat of a diatribe about the things law enforcement can and can't do, and he went into this thing talking about freedom of speech, right? And I was like, because one thing I've noticed is we haven't really talked about the Second Amendment. That has not come up yet in class, but there's other things. And today he was talking about the First Amendment and how, yeah, you can have laws that restrict the First Amendment to a degree and all this stuff. And he's like, there's laws out there that, like there's laws that say, and keep in mind, this is a dude who's probably about 60. He's been a lawyer probably since his late 20s, right? Been a prosecutor, right? Should know the law pretty fucking well, right? I mean, I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt. I'm assuming he's been a lawyer for at least 30 years. Like, let's say he was a cop, because he said he was a cop for a few years, and then went to law school. So, let's say between being a cop for a few years, going to college, going to law school, let's say he was a lawyer and working, because he says he's only ever worked for the state, basically. So he's only ever worked for the prosecutor's office, and he rose through the ranks. So let's say by 30 years old, right? And so, yeah, I'm giving him benefit of the doubt. Dude's been a lawyer 30 fucking years. And he starts talking about how, how there's laws that say you can't, like shout fire in a crowded theater and blah, 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 blah. And he starts going off on this fucking whole diatribe about how it's okay. And there are times when you can restrict freedom of speech and all this kind of stuff. And I raised my hand in class and I was like, yeah, actually, I told him, I was like, actually, if I remember correctly, there's not actually any laws that say you can't yell fire in a crowded theater. Like, it's not about restricting freedom of speech. It's consequences. There are incitement laws. So if you incite a riot and people get hurt and there's damage and things like that, because you did a certain thing with the intention of inciting a riot, I was like, that's illegal. But if you yell fire in a crowded theater and everybody in the theater just tells you to shut up and nothing happens, you haven't done anything wrong. So there aren't laws saying they can restrict your speech. It's laws saying if you incite bad things to happen, you can get in trouble for that, not for your speech. And in front of the class, dude, he had to be like, well, yeah, no, you're right. So yeah, there's not actually laws that say you can't say certain things, but he was trying to fucking cover it up, but he admitted I was fucking right. That happened just today. And he was trying to fucking fill all these people going to fucking police academy, fill it in their heads that, like, yeah, you know, we can restrict freedom of speech sometimes. I was like, man. And then a different teacher we had, law enforcement. Everybody that teaches these classes is law enforcement, except for the legal guy. He's the only one that's not. Everybody else is law enforcement. And he was law enforcement, but now he's prosecution. So, and then there was this other guy, and he's a lieutenant at some department, and he teaches one of the classes. And he was talking about body cameras. And he was talking about, and honestly, like I wear a body camera at work sometimes. Depends on how many people are on shift, and what we're each doing, you know. Like if I'm in the car, if I'm you know, in the car and driving around on patrol, I don't wear a body camera. So depending on what I'm doing, sometimes I have a body camera. Anyway, so he starts talking about body cameras. And honestly, I mean, I wear one sometimes. I watch footage on body cameras sometimes. But I am by no means an expert in the technology of body cameras, right? Just not, right? I get a job there, start working there. Here's your body camera. Here's how you turn it on. Here's how you turn it off. Cool, thanks. That's the level of knowledge I have about body cameras, right? Now, again, I work for a private corporation, so, you know, for us, body cameras are, everything's a little bit different, right? I don't work for a jurisdiction. I'm, you know, you fuck around and find out. In my job, you're fucking around and finding out on private property, right? We don't fuck with people on public roads or public places. We don't fucking pull people over and harass people. We don't do any of that shit, right? Like, you fuck around and I get called in, it's because you're fucking around on somebody else's property, right? So we have way more leeway in one sense than cops do. We certainly have much more of a right, in my opinion, to fucking police the way we do than a cop does. Because a cop's supposed to be dealing with the public, right? They have to worry about people's rights. If you are encountering me because you came on company property and started some shit, the first thing I'm going to do is tell you to leave. Get the fuck out. Get off our goddamn property. And if you don't, then you done fucked up. Because as far as I'm concerned, that's no different from going into somebody's house, starting some shit. They tell you to get the fuck out. You don't. Guess what? You might get your ass beat because you're being a dumbass, right? This private property, motherfucker. I work for a private corporation. Yes, I am a sworn officer in fucking Flint, Michigan. Okay? But I work for a private company. Don't fuck around on private property. I'm sorry. I don't come to your fucking house or your fucking job and fuck with you and start shit. Don't do the same thing here, right? Anyway, it's beside the point. Get back to body cameras. So he starts talking about body cameras, and they're talking about different stuff. And they start talking about the Axon body cameras. And there's a couple different companies, Axon being one of them. One of the bigger ones. I think they might be the biggest body camera company that supplies body cameras to law enforcement in the country. And they start talking about the resolution of body cameras, like the, you know, how it records and all that shit, right? And I'm not, you know, like I said, the technical aspects of how the body cameras, you know, what resolution the body cameras record in and all that kind of shit. It's not anything that's ever crossed my mind. I've watched body camera footage, like my own body camera footage from some of the officers. And you know, good, clear picture, whatever. Never really thought much about it. And he starts talking about specifically, he's like, oh, most of y'all carry Axon body cameras, right? And we're all like, yeah, because we all do. Again, they're like the biggest supplier of body cameras for law enforcement, including us. And he starts talking about, he's like, and again, there's people from all different, there's other private officers in there too, and like all kinds of people in this class. And he's like, yeah, did you know that these Axon body cameras you guys have? He's like, you ever watch the video on them? And we're all like, yeah, of course, we've all watched body camera footage, right? Yeah. And he's like, and you see the resolution on there. And he's like, I'm guessing for most of y'all, the resolution is like 720p. And we're all kind of like, yeah, I guess that looks about right. Like, it's not 4K, that's for sure. But like, it looks good, right? Looks like your average, you know, YouTube video or whatever. Like, it's good. It's good enough, right? You can see what's going on. And he's like, yeah, he's like, you know, it's people like me who work with Axon and Axon themselves, that we're the ones that go to the law enforcement agencies and we actually have them set their body cameras. He's like, the reason you wear body cameras that should be set to 720p is either because Axon did it at the factory, because police, like, and he was saying like me, right? But it's him, like police officers like him who are part of these police unions all over the country, went to Axon and said, you need to set the resolution on the body cameras lower, because the body cameras go anywhere from 1440p up to 4K, depending on what model you get, right? And he's like, it was all the, like, the FOPs, you know, Fraternal Order Police, and all the other police unions and police agencies and things like that, that went to Axon and said, you know, either A, tell us how to drop the resolution on these body cameras, or B, like, set the resolution lower before you even send us the body cameras. And their reasoning was, well, we don't want anybody who watches the body camera to see what's going on too well. So if body camera footage gets called up in a court case or gets put in the news or wherever else, we want the body camera footage to not be as good as it can be, so that our ass is covered in case, you know, maybe something happened, the officer didn't see something and he did something, and he makes a statement saying he shot somebody because he thought what the guy had in his hand was a gun, but it turns out it was a cell phone. And then if you can see that on the body camera and clearly make out that it's a phone, then that's bad for us. And I'm sitting there and I'm listening to this dude tell this whole fucking story and talk about how all the police unions and law enforcement agencies, like, went to Axon. And I think there's the other big company that I can't remember the name of that sells body cameras. And they petitioned them to do this, to downgrade footage on body cameras so that it wouldn't be too clear. So that was good enough, but that way that cops couldn't be held to account if something like that happened. Like, hey, we shot somebody who had a cell phone instead of a gun in their hand. And that's why body cameras are set to 720p. And that's why when you watch body camera footage, it's not in 4K or even 1440p. It's in fucking 720p. Because they're like, we figure that's good enough. And I was like, I'm just sitting there listening to this shit, and I'm like, motherfuckers. And it's all to fucking cover their ass, so that if they do something that's questionable, it's harder for people who see the body cam footage to make judgments against the police. And it's just little shit like that I've been learning as I go through fucking police academy. That just, man, I'll tell you what. Like I said, and it's hard to explain, and I've tried to explain it on this show. I mean, purely for selfish reasons, I guess. Because I don't want people to think I've been a very vocal anti-law enforcement voice on YouTube for my audience. And I don't want people to think I've fucking switched gears all of a sudden just because I got this job. Because I haven't. Okay? I have not. And the thing is what's funny is I think now that I've had this job and I've gotten more experience dealing with police and certain types of situations in ways that I never got before. You know, my opinions came purely from kind of a more or less an outsider's perspective. And I have much more of an insider's perspective now because even though I'm private police, I work with police a lot. And a lot of the guys that I work with are ex-cops and things like that. And what's funny is now that I'm much closer to it than I used to be, I'm even more anti-law enforcement than I was. Ah, shit. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. I wanted to make a video on that body camera thing. In fact, I might still make a video. By the way, sorry, the last few weeks I haven't made a lot of videos on the channel. I know I was doing really good and making, 1, 2, 3 videos a week there for a while. And I am going to get back to that. It's just because of everything happening at work, I have not had a chance to. So I apologize. I've got like almost an hour drive to school every morning, and it's thrown my schedule completely off. And so I just haven't had as much time to make videos. So, but I will get back to doing them once my schedule gets back to normal and I'm back at work and no longer in police academy and all that shit. Oh, I did get a free police academy hat for going to police academy. I asked him too. I was like, why does that say reserve police? And he's like, no, it's not reserve police. He's like, we technically are a reserve academy. He's like, if you went back like 5 years, our academy here, because it's at Oakland College in Michigan. He's like, our academy here at Oakland College was just a reserve academy. In other words, jurisdictions only sent cadets here to go through the courses if all the other schools that do it full time were full up. So we were the overflow academy, the reserve academy. He's like, and technically we still are. He's like, but the thing is he's like, we now do just as much training as every other school. He's like, so even though we're technically a reserve academy, he's like, our enrollment from jurisdictions all over the state is just as high as all the non-reserve academies. He's like, we graduate, we have just as many students graduate here as all the regular academies that aren't reserve academies. So yeah, there's my Oakland Reserve Police Academy hat. I can tell you where I'm going to school because I don't think that really matters. I can't talk about the company I work for, but I can tell you where I go to school. Just because it doesn't matter. But yeah, exactly, Calhoun. It's cop special ed. Now, you know what's weird? So there's a lot of, depending on like where you're at. So because we're private police, we get treated a little bit differently. and we're kind of like, when we're in the academy, we're held to a different standard. Like if you're an actual police cadet, they basically kind of treat you like shit. It's kind of like being in the military. And but we don't get treated that way because we don't work for a jurisdiction. We work for private corporations, so we kind of get treated better than your average police cadet. And it's weird because, like, if you're an actual police cadet, they tell you it doesn't matter. Anybody that is not a cadet, right? If they walk by you in the hallway and you're a police cadet, you have to stop, let them pass by you, stop, stand at attention, and say, "Good morning, sir," or "Good afternoon, sir," or "Good night, sir." And so I'm walking through the hallways going to, because we go to different classes. Like I'm on the way from one class to fucking defensive tactics or something, which is at the back of the school or whatever, right? And every time I do, pass by cadets in the hallway and they have to stop and stand at attention when I walk by them. It's fucking weird. It gets on my nerve. It's honestly annoying after a while. I'm just like, fuck, can you stop doing that shit? Because they treat you like fucking you're a commanding officer. I'm like, motherfucker, I'm just in the academy like you are. I'm just not. I'm just private police. That's the only fucking difference. I might as well be a fucking cadet too, but they don't make us do that shit. So but yeah, it's funny. It's funny the first few times that it happens. After it happening a dozen or more times a day for several weeks at a time, it starts to get fucking annoying. What's up, Fiend Dog? Oh, Randy Butternubs is here. What's up, Mr. Randy? Lead Lace is here. He says, what do you think of all these Olympians shit-talking America while claiming they are representing America? Oh, we've talked about this before because this has happened like the last 3 Olympics, and fuck those people. What was that one girl? There was that one girl from, was it the last Summer Olympics? Or was it the last Winter Olympics? I can't remember which one it was. And she was the black girl that came out with the American flag on her shoulders, and all the other people there, all the woke-tarded fucking Olympians were kind of giving her looks and shit. And she was just like fucking, you know, proud to be an American and saying, you know, I thank God for this opportunity and all, like just totally fucking shitting on all the little woke-tarded fuck sticks. And I can't remember her name. She was good. She was like the only one that fucking wasn't fucking just, I hate America and all that shit. Can't remember her name though. Can't remember her name. Damn. That pisses me off. But good for her. She's the only one I can think of in the last 2 or 3 Olympic cycles. Is that what they call it? A cycle? Olympic cycle? I don't know. Whatever the fuck you call it. That wasn't like just shit talking in the United States. So, yeah. What does that say, Calhoun? This is basically Never Enough Ammo walking the halls of the police academy. Oh, I can't see it. I can see you dropped a link, but I can't click on it. Like, let me come over here and click on it. See if I can find it here. What is this? Yes, dude. Swear to God, that's basically it. For those that can't, well, you can click on the link that he dropped in. Yeah, that's basically what it's like walking down the hallway. Dude, especially when like you're walking down and it's like a class of cadets coming out of a class or going to a class and you're walking down the fucking hallway. And they're all just like, they just all stop and stand at attention. And they all, like, as you're walking by them, Good morning, sir. 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 I'm just like, okay, it's getting old now, dude. It's fucking getting old. So. Old Man Butler says, I've uncovered that you work at Duke's Turn Your Head and Cough Clinic of Urology. That might be fun. Little Still says, gotta love the ones who hate America won't give up the benefits of living here. Yeah, no shit. Bunch of fucking shitty hypocrites. Tony Diego, what's up, dude? Says, finally got my AP5P MP5 clone. Yes. Put a collapsible brace on it. Now I'm saving for a super safety. Oh, nice. Mr. Scare says, should we start calling you Mahoney? Dude, I'm a huge Police Academy fan. I would not be opposed to that nickname. Although Mahoney was just an officer, I am technically a corporal. So, I am no longer an officer. I got promoted at work, so I'm a corporal. I did apply for a sergeant's position. I did not get it. That's mostly just because there was somebody else there who was already a sergeant on another shift that wanted the position, and he had seniority. So they moved him from night shift to day shift. I did apply to be the day shift sergeant, which I will get there. I'm not toot my own horn here, but I am well liked at work and I do a goddamn good job. So, but I am technically Corporal Matt at work. So I got my promotion. I'm no longer just an officer. I'm a corporal. I'm very proud of that, by the way. Would like to hear your applause. Thank you. Thank you. But yeah. Let's see. I like that. Mahoney. John Z says, we do that in the correctional academy. It's just about respect. And hey, y'all, sorry I've been AWOL, just catching up on life since my first stroke. Are you doing better? I hope you're doing better, John. Yeah, you can come on the chat anytime you want, John. So, Brian Knight says, seems more like Tackleberry. I mean, Tackleberry was fucking cool with that goddamn 44 Magnum that he had. Tackleberry was awesome. But, I mean, personality-wise, I'm much more of a Mahoney than a Tackleberry. Ledley says, soon you'll be a rear admiral. Oh, sweetie, I already am. George says, which of you guys bet Matt in 6 months will say blue line? Oh, fuck that blue line shit. Dude, it's... So, I mean, everybody I work with, everybody at work, right? They know how I feel about cops. But I'm going through the police academy, so I'm not openly talking about that. You know what I mean? Because that's just not good. I gotta get through this fucking thing, graduate, all that shit, right? I gotta do it for work. But yeah, there's a bunch to, especially like so there's three main dudes who do all of our defensive tactics training, and depending on what we're fucking learning, it's one of those three dudes. And like I swear to God, almost every time I go in there, at least two of the dudes have a fucking thin blue line shirt on, and I'm just like, and I want to say something, dude, but I'm like, okay, look, it's not the time or the place. You're here to just fucking go through the classes and fucking graduate and then go back to work, and you can talk shit again. I've managed to keep my mouth shut a lot, but it's because I have to. I don't have a choice. So, my fucking work is paying for this shit. They're paying a hefty amount to send me to this fucking police academy. So, I don't want to cause problems. You know what I'm saying? So, But yeah, that thin blue line shit. Oh. Colonel Clink. Yes. Oh, I love me some Hogan's Heroes. John says, thanks. Maybe one of these days I will. Much appreciated. Dude, anytime, John. You're always welcome on the chats, bro. Just let me know. Brian I says, yeah, more like if Tackleberry Mahoney had a kid. Wait, are you the not so virgin Connie Swales kid? Connie Swales, not so virgin Connie Swales. Fuck, I know that name. Connie Swales. Why is that name so familiar, but I can't place it? Fuck, I gotta look that up. Fuck. What the fuck just happened? Hold on. I know that name. Why do I know that fucking name? Dragnet. That's why I fucking know that name. Okay, thank you. I was like, fuck, dude, I know that name. Fucking Dragnet. Lily says you should troll them by wearing a thin red line shirt. I'm keeping a low profile. I'm at a fucking police academy, so I'm not trying to start shit. I mean, you know, other than questioning my fucking teacher publicly. Hey, but he admitted I was right, so fuck him. Calvin says, I knew a girl that became a trooper. She even has a thin blue line flag tattoo on her arm. You would never have guessed she'd become a cop growing up. Well, there you go. Well, I mean, I've talked about it before. I've got cops in my family. I've got an uncle and two cousins who work for Kaufman County in Texas. And they've offered before to sponsor me in the academy. If I had wanted to be a cop, I could have been a cop. You know, if that was something I wanted to do. When I got this job here, and anyway, there's a whole lot to it, but when I got this job here, I was very clear. And I asked a lot of fucking questions about this job. And I told them straight up, I was like, look, because they had told me from the beginning, they're like, well, eventually we're going to want to send you to the academy and this and that. And until you go to the academy, you'll be operating under our police authority. And then when you go to the academy, you know, then you'll technically be a sworn officer yourself, not just operating under our authority and all this stuff. And I remember asking them, I was like, look, I don't want to be a cop. So I really want to make sure this job is not that of a police officer. And they said, well, you're a private police, but it's not the same thing. Like you know, it was a whole thing. I had a whole conversation with the person that hired me about this because I was very specific. Like, dude, I don't want to be a cop. Like, I like the idea, and the way the job was explained to me was, you know, you get to come in and you actually get to like help people and protect people and take care of dangerous situations, but it's all for, you know, private company. You're a private police officer. And the way it was explained to me it has been very accurate, which is I get to do a lot of the things that I would want real police to do. I'm not a real police officer. I mean, I'm just not. And I don't have to do any of the things, and it's not even in my jurisdiction to do any of the things that I hate law enforcement for doing. So it works out really well, you know? John says, enjoy the academy. Life is short. It's definitely something to be proud of. Hashtag respect. Well, I appreciate it. I am kind of proud of it. You know, this has been as far as work goes, honestly, as far as everything goes, it's been a good year. It's been a good year. You know, hadn't been perfect, but it's been a good year. Abo dropped in super chat. Thank you, Abo. Says, good evening, sir. Looking to add a 10mm to the fleet. SIG P320. Full size or Smith & Wesson 2.0 carry comp or something better than those two. Need your help. So now between those two, I would lean toward the Smith & Wesson, hands down. I love SIG. I'm not a big fan of the 320s. I know it has nothing to do with all the controversy about the safety of them. I'm just like, I love SIG. And if you were talking about a P220 series or something like that, I'd say SIG, but 320 and the Smith & Wesson, I'd lean toward the Smith & Wesson. Now, that being said, you want to know my opinion. There's only one 10mm pistol that I actually want. And I can't remember the exact model number of it. And this may not be your thing at all. And if it's not, cool. But I can't remember what model it is, but Rock Island makes a double stack 2011 in 10mm. That is the only 10mm I personally want myself. And it's awesome. It's awesome. And they have several models of single stack 1911 10mm, but that double stack 10mm, at 2011, that's the only 10mm I want. So, personal opinion, I'd go for that one. But that's probably not your thing. Look, if you're trying to decide between, you know, two different polymer framed striker fired guns, I'm sure an all steel 2011 is not what you're looking for. So, between those two, I would definitely go Smith & Wesson. So that would definitely be the way I would lean. Let's see. John Z says, I'm in the process of trying to get my driver's license. Just got approved to get my permit and also waiting on my PA carry permit. So if you ever visit PA, I'll take you to the range. That would be awesome. I'm actually close enough to drive to PA now. There's a bunch of places. I haven't really had much of a chance. I've been really, this last year, I've been really focused on work and the kids' school and trying to, I mean, you know, maybe for some people out there, I don't know. You know, if you've moved a lot in your life and moved to different states and moved across the country, you know, more than once in your life for work or whatever, you're probably much more accustomed to it. Me and my family are not, right? I other than a year when I was, 18, 19 years old that I lived in Colorado with a couple of roommates, I've lived in Texas my whole life. The last 23 years with my wife and kids, we lived in South Texas. So moving was a big deal for us and a big change. And so the last year I've spent a lot of time fucking just trying to focus on, making life work here for me and the family as best I can. That being said, now that I live in a part of the country where I have much easier access, i.e., it's a lot easier to drive to other states and other places. Me and my wife have talked about, at least once a year, taking a week or two off work and driving around and going some different places. PA is definitely some place we'd love to visit. There's some places there that I'd love to go visit. So yeah, no, that's definitely something that I want to do. We just, this first year has been like, putting your head down and focusing on trying to build a new life here after basically an entire lifetime in just one state. And so, but yeah, absolutely. I would love to. Let's see. What do we got? Jason Ghost says, thin blue line is strangling the Constitution. Constitution is the only thing you should be backing. I 100% agree. Oh. Where are we at? Brian I says, I need to watch those Police Academy movies with my daughter. She has never seen them. Oh, they're great. Dude, they're great. I mean, I grew up watching them. I'm sure they're 80s movies. And as I'm sure most of us who grew up in the 80s know, 80s movies, especially, they were a little more lax than movies are today. And what I mean by that is there's a lot of movies in the 80s that were like PG-13 movies that by today's standards would have been rated R movies. But we all grew up watching them and we're fine, right? We're fine. I was watching Police Academy movies when I was a kid. I feel like there's probably some inappropriate shit in there. In fact, I know there is. But I would let my kids watch them. I don't know if that's necessarily a good thing, but I'm sure your daughter would love them. I don't know how old your daughter is. Maybe she's more than old enough. Maybe she's not a kid, and it wouldn't matter anyway. John says, being police is a crap load of paperwork, so study hard for real, especially for when you have to go to court or in front of judges. Yeah, so far, because I've just been operating under the authority of the police authority of the company I work for, I've never been put in a situation to like have to go to court or anything like that. Now, potentially, I could, depending on the situation or scenario. So. John says, you're a good guy. You deserve good years and also for the family. I appreciate that. Thank you. So do you, by the way, John. Terry says, I got pulled over today. I get pulled over every time I pick up or deliver on this road. They've all pulled me over and still do. They know I'm allowed. They still waste my time. Man, I'm telling you, again, so many reasons to not like law enforcement. Power tripping, fucking jackbooted thugs. And a lot of times they're just dicks, man. I'll let power go to their fucking head, think they can do whatever the fuck they want, just fuck with people. Cohen says, my brother has one of those. Has one of what? Fuck. What were we talking about that your brother has one of? I don't know. I don't know now. I fucking moved on. I'm trying to catch up with the chat. We were talking about the gun. Yes, the gun. Yes. Oh, awesome. Kodiak says, isn't Canik making a 10 millimeter? Probably. I would guess they are. Canik's expanded a lot. Mr. Scary says, if I had a pick of 10 millimeter, I'd be looking for a Tankfolio Witness and their wonderful. Oh, Tankfolio is, I mean, just in general, the whole EAA line, their fucking CZ clones are fucking top notch, dude. Top fucking notch. Those Tankfolio Witnesses are fucking phenomenal. Yeah, and the 10 millimeter is nice. It wouldn't be the 10 millimeter I'd go for because I want the Rock Island. Old man says Rock Ultra 8C is 52009 16 round capacity. Thank you. Look, Old man Butt Wrinkles found the model. It's the Rock Ultra HC 52009 16 rounds of fucking 10 millimeter in a 2011 package. Dude, that's fucking awesome. Carry the shit out of that. I've been looking for a 1911 to carry. I was telling you guys that last week. I was looking for one of the ones I want is the Rock Island was the 3.10, the BBR, I think is what it's called, which is like a fucking tiny subcompact double stacked 45 1911, and they made it fucking tiny. And but it's double stacked, so it holds 10 rounds of fucking 45. I want one of those too. David Jones says, "Sort of the body camera folks related to the old school Axe body spray company that made the ladies love you? Maybe. I don't know. Axon. Yeah." George says, "Any of you guys been in ROTC? Did you guys get called the Hitler Youth?" Good question. I was never in ROTC. Maybe somebody else was. Feed Dog says, "The Dan Wesson Kodiak is an awesome 10mm. Yes, of course it is. 1911. Tara says, "Go to the Ford Museum. It's all Americana." I've been told by several people to go check out the Ford Museum. I have not gone yet, but yeah, still a lot of places I need to check out in Michigan and some surrounding states. My wife wants to take at least maybe a weekend trip, take the kids up to Canada since we're so fucking close. I think it's like roughly a 45-minute drive to the border from where we live. So yeah. So that's something we got lots to do, but we got time. We've just, as of tomorrow will mark the 1-year anniversary of moving to Michigan. We literally moved here on Valentine's Day last year. That's the day we arrived in Michigan, was on February 14th. I think we left on the 12th or the 11th. No, we left on the 11th, and we took our time coming up here and stopped and all that shit. So we were basically driving a caravan between the fucking U-Haul I was driving, my wife's car, and my son's car. It was like we were caravanning up here, so we stopped a lot. So it took us like 2.5, 3 days to get here. Yeah, we got into Michigan and got started moving in on the 14th. So tomorrow will be the 1-year anniversary of moving to Michigan. Brian Knight says, 80s movies were so fast and loose, and I like it. Yes, they were. And he says she's old enough. Let's see. Calhoun says, "I think before they came up with the PG-13 rating, they got away with a lot in PG movies. I remember I saw boobs in a James Bond movie that was PG at one point. Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me at all. It's probably more like a boob, but it was a huge deal to me at the time. Well, yeah, at that age, fuck yeah. Let's see. Oh, Mr. Scary dropped in super chat. Says, "It's taken me 2 years, but I have officially lost 115 pounds. Still have 25 to go." Congratulations. That is fucking awesome. That's awesome, dude. Let's see. Lily says, "Oh, how'd your bacon burn heal?" Oh, pretty good. I mean, you can't really see it. I don't know if you can see it on camera. So, like, when it's cold, like when I go outside and it's cold, which is all the time. I'm not cold right now. When it's cold, right here and all down the back of my arm turns red. I've still got, you can't see it on this camera. Like, I can see it looking at it here because it's a slightly different color. It's more red. But if I was cold, you'd be able to tell because it gets brighter red when I'm cold. But yeah, no, it healed up pretty good. I mean, like I said, you can't really see it. What you can tell though, so you can see my arms. I'm a freckly dude. I got freckles on my arm. For some reason, just on my arms and up my shoulders. It's the only place on my body I have fucking freckles. But if you look all right here, like look at the difference between the skin here and the skin here. It's because it literally, when I burned myself, I burned off all the freckles on my arm. So you can, that's still there. Like it's just pasty white here. And then the freckles start right where the burn stopped. Anyway. All right, ladies and gentlemen. I am going to get out of here. It's about time for me to go. I had fun talking tonight. This was a good conversation. I enjoyed talking to you guys. It was good seeing some of you guys again. John, take care of yourself. But got some stuff I got to go do. Tomorrow is Valentine's Day. Me and my wife are going out. I don't know if I'm doing a chat tomorrow night or not. I'm going to kind of play it by ear. I know last week I was like, hey, while I'm in school, because I'm off every weekend, I'm going to be doing chats every weekend. But I forgot that tomorrow's Valentine's Day. So if I know we're going out to the movies and going to go out to eat and a couple things, if I get home in time and we're not out doing something tomorrow night, then we will do a chat tomorrow night. But I'm going to have to play it by ear because I completely forgot last week when I was talking about it that tomorrow's Valentine's Day. So we may do a chat tomorrow night or we may not if I'm still busy doing stuff with my wife. So just keep that in mind. Otherwise, normally I would do a chat tomorrow night. But that is going to do it for today. Had fun. Hope you guys have a great fucking weekend. Whether I see you tomorrow night or not, enjoy your weekend. And as always, deuces yo, shine up pee in fridge. Go, you know the thing. Shibba nama to depression, badacath care, all that good shit. And we will see you guys next time. So enjoy, guys. Take it easy.